Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a TV review, and today I'll be having a look at episode 1 of the ZOMBIELAND TV series. Now, the ZOMBIELAND TV series is actually produced by Amazon. Yes, right, the place where you're buying all your DVDs and games and whatnot. And it's available. Episode 1 is available free on the Amazon website. I think you'll probably have to pay for subsequent episodes, but the episode 1 you can actually watch for free. So, but is it worth watching? So, ZOMBIELAND, the TV series, obviously based on the movie of the same name. Now, it has not got the same actors in it first. There was going to be this first question. And the actors are in it pretty much all unknown. So they're meant to be playing the same characters. So this takes place, obviously, after the first film. So all the four sort of principal characters are together as a group. And the story, if you can call it that, of this one episode is essentially them just trying to find other survivors, basically, and they're sort of guided by some unseen woman on a sort of one of those I don't know what they're called, those voices you press in the car sort of give you directions and things like that, but something's like a live person. Anyway, so let's start off with the positives on this film. The actual first intro scene, I think, is very, very good. It's basically a sort of this first bit starts off with the initial zombie outbreak, and you've just got these two office workers sort of talking about all this stuff, and there's all this sort of zombie happening in the background, and they're not noticing, and that's actually quite a funny scene. The gore isn't too bad for a relatively low budget TV sort of show. And the kind of zombie effects are fairly good. There's one kind of funny joke in this where you have a sort of elderly woman who is a zombie bites one of our characters, but she's got false teeth, so obviously it's not going to be a fatal wound or anything. It's not going to affect him. Now, you notice I say one funny joke because that really is the only one. So here's what's wrong with this TV show. It has got none of the charm of the original film. The jokes are extremely juvenile, and it isn't adult. There's obviously a fair amount of gore and there's swearing and stuff like that, but the humour is massively juvenile. I say that there was maybe one joke that I found mildly funny. The rest of it is just crap. The running joke is that whenever they find the survivor, they end up getting killed sort of like minutes after they get found. It tries to copy a lot of the sort of things that we've seen in the Zombieland films. Obviously, you have the sort of the titles or the sort of the rules come up whenever they're sort of going through one, and obviously you've got the zombie kill of the week there. But see, the Zombieland film was it was a comedy zombie film, but it wasn't a spoof, and it still had moments of drama in there. This film just takes what it thinks is the funny bits or the funny sort of style of it and just tries to make almost like a spoof of it, but it just isn't funny. And the other problem is here, the cast are unlikable. They're just not. They're not the sort of. They don't have the charm of the original cast. Now, obviously, the original cast are obviously far more professional actors, so you kind of maybe have to factor that in. We'll take Tallahassee for example. In the movie, he's kind of obviously played by Woody Harrelson, but he's kind of a bit zany, but he also has a kind of sense of he's a little bit unpredictable, potentially a little bit dangerous, and you kind of get this kind of almost like a bit of a psychotic vibe going on. Although he's obviously one of the good guys, you still feel he can be, he's a potentially dangerous person. Here in this one, the guy's just a goofy idiot, and he tries to sort of ape some of like Woody Harrelson's sort of movements and stuff like that, but the guy just comes across as a complete moron. And it's pretty much true of all the other characters. They're trying to sort of ape obviously the characters that have been in the movie, but they just come across as insincere and unlikable. And that's the main issue. It's just not it's not a fun show to watch. I think it tries to make the whole concept of having sort of Zombieland having this comedy sort of thing. That's fine, but that's fine if the comedy sort of serves the story. Otherwise, it almost goes as far as being like a sort of scary movie TV show. I think it's not quite that bad, but the humour is very close to being almost a parody, and that you know, that's not what the film was. So I think this is a bit of a disappointment, unfortunately. I don't know if I'll bother watching any more episodes after this one, to be quite honest with you. It really wasn't very interesting. It just seems all the other survivors, it just didn't seem, they just seemed too chirpy. It was not, didn't have any sort of serious undertones at all. It was purely just a joke, this TV series. I don't understand why they've the decision to do this, obviously. And they've tried this sort of thing. Obviously, Walking Dead's going to be a popular TV series. Let's have a bit of that action. But our point of difference is going to be have a bit more comedy in it. But it just, the comedy doesn't work. They have no drama in it. There's no sense of horror. There's no sense of danger. There's no dramatic tension. The acting is poor. The characters are unlikable. It's crap, ultimately. So, for the plus points I said at the beginning, I'm going to give this a 2.5 out of 10. Unless you like your humour, like scary movie, then avoid this. So that's what I think about it. Have you seen it? Let me know what you think. If you haven't seen it, you can go and watch this episode for free on Amazon. So go and check it out if you want to. Leave me a comment. Look forward to seeing you next time. See you later.